Hey friends, Mark here. Actually trying to get this naps on my head cut. And while I was waiting here, I was noticing this RG3 doll that's up here. And I wonder, is it a bobble knee? All right, I'm gonna get this mess on my head cut down. It's looking a little bit wild and crazy. And my man behind me here, what's happening? What's your name, man? Marvin? Marvin's gonna hook me up. I told him I'm old and I'm ugly and try and make me look a little less of both. All right, so we'll see how it goes. Hey friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy CowboyJobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Because of that, you guys, this just doesn't work. Now listen, guys, I want to explain something to you because people seem to think, well, let's just trade somebody. Let's just trade Dez Bryant and get something back for him. What you have to understand is, people are saying, let's trade for Richard Sherman. Well, first of all, you don't want to trade for a guy who's having his second Achilles tendon rupture, who's 30 years old, 30 or 31 years old. And you got to understand the way teams are going to look at it. We've talked about trading Alfred Morris now for 2 years. But the reality is teams are not going to make trades for older players if they think you're going to cut. So here's the mistake Seattle's making. Seattle, word leaked out that they were going to cut Richard Sherman. So they have a meeting and they say, we're going to trade you. Okay. If you're an NFL team and you hear that they're going to cut Richard Sherman, a guy who probably won't be ready to start at the beginning of the season because he has a ruptured Achilles tendon that's healing, a second one, and you know that Seattle wants to get rid of him, why are you going to give up anything for him and take on the contract that he has? You understand what I'm saying here? Because you trade, you're giving up a draft pick to sign him at his current contract. Now, if he gets cut, he's a free agent, then you can do a new contract. Thus, this is the problem we had with Tony Romo. Because Tony Romo had a contract with a salary that was high, nobody was going to trade for that salary. They'd rather roll the dice and say, okay, maybe we can be the team he wants to come play for. We can sign him without giving up draft picks, and we can sign him to a contract that's friendly. Hence, nobody is going to sign Dez Bryant for his current salary. It's just not going to happen. And on top of it, nobody's going to give you something for Dez Bryant and his salary. That would be insane to sign a guy who you're going to pay $12.5 million. Oh, and we're going to give up picks. That's why it's really, really hard to trade people, and that's why you don't see that many trades. It's just better for a team to wait you out because they know you don't want that contract. I don't want that contract. We'll wait and roll the dice and see if we can get him out there. So the idea of trading Dez Bryant, not going to work. Too big a salary. Too big a risk of a guy who's that old and has had down years. But they'll be more than happy to sign him after he's released. Now, that's a different story, and that's what's going on. So when you look at Michael Bennett basically being signed for a 5th-round draft pick and a receiver that's a nobody, it's not a whole lot that he's getting. When you look at Marcus Peters getting a 2nd and a 5th round, who's one of the young best cornerbacks in the NFL, in reality, it's not a whole lot. So when we're looking at Earl Thomas, being that he's 2 years off of a fractured fibula, aging on a team that's desperate to turn the page and start over, the market value is not that high. Yes, they want to get a number one. Yeah, we all want a lot of things, but reality is another. And with them having to, as I've said before, they're looking at starting over, young guys, rebuilding, and having that team grow up, getting rid of all of the discontent that they had in the locker room and fixing the team from that standpoint. They want to move Earl Thomas. So that's a little insight into the world of trades and why you don't see so many trades in the NFL. It's just that teams don't want those bad contracts that you want to get rid of. So, Dez Bryant being traded, it's not going to happen. Richard Sherman getting traded, it's not going to happen. He's going to get cut. So that's a little idea into the window of what happens as far as NFL teams go. That's why you don't see the Cowboys doing very many trades. And the last time they did a big trade was, Roy Williams, 2 number ones. Yeah. So anyway, friends, as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. I'll see you soon. Hello, friends. Cowboy Jobu here with an unsolicited opinion on the Jobu wings. You were saying about the wings?
The wings are the best I've ever had. Hands down. Awesome.
Okay, well, we've been passing out our recipe. If you actually look on our YouTube channel, we have all the recipes for all this stuff on here.
With the women, with the ladies.
You know that. Okay, slide in a little bit here. Okay, all right, so on 3. Jay, get in there, man. Okay, we're gonna do How About Them Cowboys. Okay, all right, everybody, on 3, How About Them Cowboys. 1, 2, 3.
How about them Cowboys?